Hey everybody, I'm on a mission to beat 100 video games every year, and out of all the games that came out in 2024, I beat 41 of them, and now it's time for the second annual MoonFaceNick Award for the video games with my favorite voice acting in 2024. So at number 5, I've got the Silent Hill 2 remake. Everybody in that cast was great, but Luke Roberts in particular, the guy that plays James Sunderland, nailed that performance. He does this kind of like underplayed, subtle performance, which I think is really appropriate for the character. He was nominated for a Game Award for that performance. He didn't win, more on that later, but I think he really captured that character. Fun little piece of trivia for you too. Luke Roberts is also the guy that plays Thomas Wayne in the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. At number 4, I've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't know how Square Enix did it, but they somehow managed to find a cast for those characters that feel like they've been voicing them since that game existed in 1997, even though none of those characters are voiced. Brianna White was nominated for a Game Award for her performance as Aerith, but honestly, everybody across the board was great. Tifa was awesome, Barrett was great. The person that voiced Red was really good. Honestly, the only character I really didn't like was Cloud, but I guess he's supposed to be kind of a wet blanket. I don't know. At number 3, I have a game called Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. You may not have heard of this one, but it is one of my sleeper hits of the year. It's just across the board an excellent game, but the vocal performances are a big part of that. The two lead performances in particular, Russ Bane and Amika Okafor, nail the lead couple that you play as in that game. It's a very cinematic, narrative-driven game anyway, which is not a surprise considering it's made by Don't Nod, the people that made Life is Strange. But this is a full-on action game. It's a very different kind of a thing. If you like a great action game, you should definitely play it. It's awesome. Now, at number 2, I've got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Troy Baker was not eligible for a Game Award this year because that game came out too late, but he should have been. He has this awesome, like, 99.9% Harrison Ford impersonation. When he's talking more quietly or more subtly, it's actually a little bit more Troy Baker. But whenever he gets angry or has to yell at somebody, suddenly it's like 100% Harrison Ford. It's funny. Also, big shout out to Tony Todd, who was heavily featured in that game. He passed away this year, and I believe that was the last thing he was in. Horror icon, amazing performance from him as well. And at number 1, I've got Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Melina Juergens is having a moment right now. That is not just a vocal performance, that is a full body acting job that she's doing. Big shout out to the creators of the game who had all that tech available and all the photorealistic graphics and all that, but Melina Juergens was the anchor of that game. There's not a ton of substance to that game outside of the performances, so she absolutely carried it. She was incredible. I can't wait to see what else she's gonna do. Everybody else was really good too, but I mean, she was definitely the star. So those were my top 5 video games with my favorite voice acting in 2024. But I also beat 65 other video games last year that came out in 2023 or earlier, and next time we'll be going over my favorite voice acting performances from those.